Hey everyone! So there's been a lot of rumblings about the next panel from Hell coming soon, and I've found myself wondering what the next class they're going to announce will be. I'm personally partial to Bard because I love the idea of insulting people to do damage, as well as the singing. I have been known to come up with a random tune about everyday things now and then, but sadly I can't play a lute. Now, there are only 3 more classes left that could release, and that's of course the Bard that I've already mentioned, the Paladin, and the Monk. There are existing mods for both the Bard and the Paladin, and I've played them both. I think there's even a Monk one that I haven't tried yet. Now, a lot of these mods were possible because some of the necessary files were already present in the game. So which will be the next class released? I couldn't be pressed to make a decision without at least taking a look into the files myself, now could I? I've been getting into this whole game file detective thing lately, first Cyberpunk and now BG3, so I have to give my hub some credit here because he explained what programs to get and how to go about finding this stuff. So thank you for that. Since I'm trying to make an educated guess here, I really just wanted to look through it all myself. It is a lot of what seems like useless junk at first, but if you sift through it all, you can find what you're looking for even as a novice. One really good way to figure it all out is to look up an existing class and see what kind of files are associated with it. You can see here that I've looked up warlocks, and you can see the class icon, you can see the different specs like Fiend and Old One, you can see specific actions, and you can also find a bunch of warlock specific dialogue options in the English localization pack. Now let's look up Bard. The class icon is there, but the specializations are missing for now. If you look for Bardic, hunting for something related to Bardic inspiration, a core Bard component, you can see it's definitely present and accounted for. And Dissonant Whispers and Vicious Mockery are both already in the game too. At a glance, Paladin looks pretty similar. There are a lot of dialogue options for Paladins, even talking about their patron deities as well. You can also find the Paladin's core spell Smite in the data too. None of the Paladin's aura spells have made it into the game yet though, and there are a lot of other Paladin exclusive spells that are missing. Looking up Monk returns the least amount of documentation. The class icon is there, as well as a lot of mentions of a monk amulet. I believe this was a quest added in Grimforge though, so it doesn't actually have anything to do with the monk class. There is some mention of key points, but nothing about strikes at all, which is another main skill set for monks. So after all that, what would I say is the most likely choice? I'm gonna go with Bard. I really need to learn how to play a lute. So I'm going to say Bard because it would be the easiest to implement at this point. It's already mostly complete as it is, and given Bards don't have many class exclusive spells, that makes it even easier to get up and started. Not to mention there's always been a lot of interest in Bards given Alfira and their general fancy. And can you imagine how awesome it would be to have someone dress up as a Bard and play a lute or a harp or anything really on the panel from Hell? They could really go all out with that and write a whole musical ditty to go with it. How about this, Larian? Look at me, I'm a bard, I'm so flashy, flashy, flashy. I'll sing you a song and stab you in the Becky, Becky. That probably didn't rhyme, but whatever. I mean, this is a bard thing, so I have to sing. And everyone thought I would have a good singing voice, but they were all proven wrong. So now that I've made the prediction, which specializations will the bard release with? From what we've seen so far, classes have usually launched with at least 2 specs. I think College of Lore is a gimme. It's the de facto definitive bard build. The second one is a bit harder to pick because they could be going based on popularity or even viability in a regular campaign, but they could also go based on very bard-like themes as well. I'd say it's a toss-up between the College of Eloquence and the College of Glamour, but who knows, they could even go for a more melee-style bard with the College of Valor to make it feel more even keel. I guess we'll find out when they drop it. What do you guys think? Is it gonna be Bard, or do you think it'll be a Paladin instead? Me, I'm definitely thinking Bard, but at the end of the day, it's still just a guess with a 33% chance of being right. Not the worst odds. In other news, I am still looking for some moderators, so hit me up by email or Instagram if you are interested in helping me out with moderating streams and Discord. Speaking of streams, I know I forgot to mention it on the last video, but I am planning to stream on YouTube and not Twitch. I'm actually going to have my first stream tonight at 9 p.m. Central Time. Since the vote was overwhelmingly for BG3's Patch 8, which hasn't released yet, I'm going to substitute it with Cyberpunk since it came in second and since I've really been wanting to play again. Whenever Patch 8 drops for BG3, I'll switch over. I might even run 2 different games. We'll see how that goes. I'm really hoping that Bard drops though, because I'm starting a new campaign in D&D soon, and I'm really considering playing a Bard because I love the idea of being a bad Bard and singing awful songs. I've even considered maybe playing as a wizard that wanted to be a Bard, but couldn't get accepted into any of the colleges because she was so awful. So instead she became a wizard and still sings bad songs because she's basically a wannabe. That way I don't have to give up any of the amazing wizard spells, but can still find a reason to sing. Once again, I want to give a huge shout out to my Patreons. Thank you for your support, and thank you to everyone else that stops by and supports the channel by leaving a like and a comment, like Suzanne and Travel Rad. If you're new and you like what you've seen, turn on that bell and notifications so you never miss a video. Also, if you use Instagram, you can follow me there too. The link is down below in the info. I'm also trying to use Twitter a bit lately, and that link is down there too. Oh, one last thing. I'm going to post another poll, and this one is going to include more classic RPGs that are closer to the isometric style from BG3. It's become pretty obvious to me that a lot of you here like fantasy RPGs, and so I'd like to include them more. There are a ton of RPGs I still need to play, like Pathfinder, both Wrath of the Righteous and Kingmaker. I also need to play Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire, because I've been told there's some romance in there as well as a good story. I still really love sci-fi and futuristic stuff as well though, so at some point I want to play some recently suggested games like Wasteland 3 and Dying Light 2. I'll try to keep it even though so that there's a little bit of everything for everyone. Still, I wanted to put up a poll and see which of the RPGs you guys are most interested in seeing out of that category, either for content or streaming. I know the polls are a pain, but it really helps me to gauge what you guys are wanting, and it helps me to line it up with what I want to do, as well as what might appeal to new audiences as well. So thank you for bearing with me through all of it. Okay guys, I'll see you later.